A common mistake is that the body rotation is already complete before the racket even touches the ball. Then the arm finishes the swing alone. This is a major timing error. Alright, today we're tackling the backspin loop. It's difficult because of its spin and the high demands it places on your body mechanics. The challenge for amateurs is that if you only use your arm, you won't generate enough friction to lift the ball. Common issues are poor footwork, an unstable center of gravity, slow anticipation, and insufficient brushing of the ball. The three most critical elements for looping backspin are your center of gravity, power generation from the body, and friction. First, let's focus on the center of gravity. You absolutely must have weight transfer when looping backspin. Many players have poor power transfer because they just squat straight down. It might look like the legs are working, but the center of gravity is just moving vertically down. If your weight goes straight down, your power can only go straight up. This means you can only make the shot if the ball comes perfectly to you. The slightest deviation will cause an error because your body is immobile. Your center of gravity can't adjust to the ball, so you can't create a proper kinetic chain. The key takeaway is this: whether it's a forehand or backhand, your center of gravity must rotate. When you learn to rotate your core, you'll find you can move in for short balls and create space for wide balls. Your opponent will give you awkward balls. To handle them, you need that weight transfer to ensure your body can meet the ball in front. Without hip rotation, your swing radius is limited. With proper rotation, your swing arc becomes much larger and more powerful. So remember, the key to using your center of gravity is hip rotation. For the forehand, what's more important, lowering your weight or rotating? And which comes first? You must lower your center of gravity first. Against a fast, heavy backspin ball, if you don't have time to fully rotate, you must at least sink your weight. You can get away without a full rotation, but you cannot get away without lowering your center of gravity. Looping while standing upright is wrong. Lowering your body is correct. There are 3 points to lowering your center of gravity. First, 70% of your weight on your right leg. Second, your hip sinks down. Third, your shoulder drops. When the opponent's ball is jamming you, sink your weight. When you want to generate maximum power, sink your weight first, then rotate. This is the fundamental requirement for a good loop. If you do this well, you still might miss, but if you fail to do this, you will definitely miss. You must first ensure you lower your weight, then focus on rotating to generate power. Think of it like a spring: if you don't compress it, it can't release any energy. Failing to lower the center of gravity is the biggest mistake I see in amateurs. You have to force yourself to do it. It will feel tiring and sore, but this athletic stance is the foundation for a high-quality loop. Second point, after lowering your weight, what is the relationship between your body and your arm when looping a backspin ball? For a forehand loop, during the weight loading phase, your left shoulder should face forward, and your right shoulder should be drawn back. Many players loop with their chest facing the table. Because your shoulders haven't rotated, your arm has no space to go back for a proper backswing. Only by rotating your shoulders can your arm get into the correct backswing position behind your body. Also, your right shoulder should always be lower than your left. The sequence is: sink first, then rotate. Sinking is the first priority, rotation is the second. In the past, coaches taught a bigger backswing. But with the plastic ball, the game has changed, and so has the technique. When looping, your arm must stay close to your body. This allows you to whip the arm for power. If your arm is far from your body, your power will be completely dissipated. Keeping the arm close allows for a relaxed, efficient swing and helps you find the optimal contact point while moving. The key is this: after rotating your body, your arm must be completely connected to your side. Your upper arm and elbow should be right against your torso. If there is a large gap between your arm and your body, your loop will have no power. This is a very common amateur mistake. This wide arm posture makes it impossible to time the ball correctly when you're moving your feet. So, you must ensure your arm stays close to your body during the backswing. When your arm is tucked in, your body is in a loaded, powerful state. While your body is loaded, your arm must be completely relaxed, with the racket head pointing down. When your thigh muscles are flexed and tense like this, you know you've engaged your legs properly. This is the sign of a loaded leg. Look at the professionals, their legs are incredibly strong and thick from this constant loading. That is the state of an engaged thigh. When you loop, your leg muscles must be activated to transfer the full force of your body through the kinetic chain. Your right leg is absolutely crucial for this. With your arm close to your body, your forearm should be bent, not straight. You'll feel your elbow touching your waist area. If your elbow isn't near your waist, it means your backswing is too high. Remember, it's the arm that's close to the body, not the racket. Modern loop technique demands this connection to transfer power from the body. For better power transfer in the future, you must practice keeping your arm tucked in. This is your preparation phase. The second major point is timing. How to coordinate your body and arm for maximum power. Here's the critical part. As your arm begins its forward swing to find the ball, do not transfer your weight and rotate your body too early. A common mistake is that the body rotation is already complete before the racket even touches the ball. Then the arm finishes the swing alone. This is a major timing error. In slow motion, the error is this: the body starts rotating the moment the arm starts moving. By the time of contact, the weight transfer is finished, and all your stored energy has been wasted. If you do that, you might as well not have loaded your body at all. It's a waste of energy. From my perspective, my body stays low and loaded right up until contact. My weight remains 70% on my right leg. At the moment of contact, my center of gravity, my hip, and my shoulder are all still in their loaded, sunken position. From this loaded position, you make contact with the ball, and then you begin the weight transfer. After you've contacted the ball, then your body explodes through the shot, driving the leg, thrusting the hip, and rotating. The problem is, most players rotate too soon. Many of you start rotating your body as soon as your arm moves. At the contact point, your weight is already even or on your left foot, your shoulder is up, and your hip is no longer loaded. In this state, it's impossible for your body to generate any power. I know many of you feel frustrated. I rotated my body, but why isn't the power going into the ball? It's because you rotated too early. Your arm and body are disconnected. So, you must ensure that as you find the ball, only your arm is moving forward. Your center of gravity, hip, and shoulder must remain loaded and unchanged. At the exact moment you contact the ball, you initiate the weight transfer. Then you execute the leg drive, hip thrust, and rotation. If you can master this rhythm, your loop will improve dramatically. Before you contact the ball, your body must remain in that low, loaded position. Stay low. Wherever you contact the ball, that is the point where your rotation begins. Your weight transfer starts at ball contact. The third point: at what point in the swing should your body and arm accelerate and generate force? The answer is in the second stage acceleration. The first stage is the initial part of your swing, from the backswing until just before you contact the ball. The second stage is the moment of contact and immediately after. I believe all your power should be concentrated in the second stage. As you are about to make contact with the ball, that is when you accelerate your body and your arm. This timing will make your loop incredibly accurate, even on the move. No matter how big my backswing is, I only accelerate right at the moment of contact. Many players are inaccurate because they are already at maximum effort during the first stage of the swing. This creates a hard collision with the ball. You're hitting it too early and too hard, causing it to spring off your racket too quickly, which gives you no time to apply friction. After loading 70% of your weight, the most important thing is how to unleash your leg power. You must drive your right thigh forward. From the side, the difference is obvious. Most amateurs just turn their bodies. This is what I call empty rotation. Empty rotation means you're turning, but you're not generating any forward drive or power into the ball. Your leg is just spinning, not driving. Think about the difference between just touching this table and driving your body weight into it. The force is completely different. So, the key for your thigh is to feel like you are driving it forward, almost like a short lunge. For your forehand, you must feel that thigh driving forward. When you drive your thigh forward, the power from your legs will naturally be released into the shot. If you only rotate, you're just using your waist and hips. To truly use your legs, you must drive that right thigh forward. When you drive the thigh, the hip naturally drives forward as well, making the movement much more powerful. The difference in power between just rotating and actively driving forward is enormous. So when should you just rotate? during a fast rally when you don't have time to fully load and drive. But after you serve and your opponent pushes, you have time, so you must drive forward. This is how you transfer your body's full power into the ball. Drive the thigh forward, and your hip will naturally follow, engaging your entire kinetic chain. Try to feel this, because terms like hip thrust or leg drive can be abstract. But once you find the feeling of driving your thigh, it will automatically activate your waist and hips correctly. So, everyone, focus on driving that thigh forward. Now, how far should you rotate your waist and hips? I believe this depends on the incoming ball. The slower the opponent's ball, the larger your rotation can be. For example, if I want to power loop a weak ball, my follow-through might finish with 70% of my weight on my left leg. My power loop would look like this, finishing with my weight fully transferred to the left side. However, if the opponent's push is very fast, your follow-through should stop with your weight balanced between both feet so you're ready for the next shot. If the opponent's ball is weak, you can commit fully and transfer 70% of your weight to your left leg. You must adjust the endpoint of your weight transfer based on the quality of the incoming ball. This is very important. If I want more power, my weight transfer is bigger. If the ball is fast and of high quality, my weight transfer is shorter, stopping between my feet. When I demonstrate a power loop against backspin, I typically finish with about 60% of my weight on my left leg. Your weight must transfer from right to left, then you push back to the right to prepare for the next ball. This rhythm allows for continuous attacks. The sequence is load, drive, then brace and recover. Load, drive, brace. This is an inertial braking motion. After the shot, you must lock your core to stabilize. After you finish the shot and stabilize, your shoulders, hips, and legs should all be facing forward, ready for the next ball. Many players only use one half of their body. They don't engage their non-playing side. This is incorrect. You must use your non-playing side as a counterbalance to make your power more concentrated. That was the fourth point. The fifth point is the concept of the outer arc. The outer arc is the most important component of the modern loop. Many people can hit a flat ball but can't loop. This is usually because their body mechanics and swing path are incorrect. So how do you create an outer arc? Its purpose is to effectively counteract heavy spin. No matter how much spin the opponent puts on the ball, you need to use an outer arc to create a high, arcing trajectory, which ensures a higher success rate. To achieve an outer arc, your right foot must be positioned at a distance from the ball, about a racket's length away. The path from my backswing to the contact point is the outer arc. The second part of the swing, from contact to the follow-through, also follows this path. If you can understand this concept, you will be able to loop the ball. The quality of that loop will depend on your physical condition and timing, but at least you will be able to get the ball on the table. Why can't you create that outer arc? Because you are standing too close to the ball, on its direct line of flight. This forces you to swing in a way that would hit your own arm. So you compensate by pushing straight forward or swinging to the left. To guarantee an outer arc, you must maintain enough space between your body and the ball. The second common error is pulling your arm straight back in the backswing. This creates a linear, forward-pushing motion, not a proper arc. Compared to a correct outside-in swing path, this will never be as consistent. So, to loop well, first, maintain your distance from the ball. Second, your backswing must be close to your hip and thigh. This ensures that the first phase of your swing, up to the contact point, creates the first half of the outer arc. After contact, as your arm comes across your body, you complete the second phase of the outer arc. The forehand swing framework is outside to in. This will allow you to create a perfect, high-arcing loop, and your consistency will skyrocket. If I execute a perfect arcing loop, won't my consistency be guaranteed? The same principle applies to the backhand. Why can't you create an outer arc with your backhand? Because your backswing is in the middle of your body. From that position, it's impossible to create an outer arc. However, if you bring your backswing slightly to your left side, your swing will naturally follow an outer arc. Think about it. Whose backhand does this look like? It looks like Fanjindong's. No professional player loops the backhand with a straight, linear motion. They all set their shoulder and elbow, and drop the racket head. They initiate the swing from the left side of their body and accelerate through. This is how it's done. This is why your backhand loop is inconsistent. It's why amateurs fear the deep backhand push and often switch to pips out rubber. They can't loop the backhand, so they switch to pips to solve their service return problem. Otherwise, they are always on the defensive. The root cause is that your center of gravity and your backswing position prevent you from creating an outer arc. So if you want to fix your technique, you have to find the root cause of the problem. Why do you pull your elbow back? Because you're too close to the ball. Why do you swing sideways? Because you can't generate power pushing forward, so you have to swing out to the side. Why do you lift your backhand upwards? Because that's the only way you can get the ball over the net. You can't execute a forward, brushing loop like we do. Only by creating this fan-shaped brushing motion can my backhand generate a high-quality ball. Why do you use a crossover step to get to a forehand ball, when a simple single step would be faster? It's because after your serve, your body is still facing sideways. From that angle, it feels like you can't reach the ball with a single step, so you naturally resort to a crossover step. But if you were facing the table square, a simple single step would come naturally, making the crossover completely unnecessary. So, you see, one technical error is caused by a previous error in your ready position. Therefore, in every phase of the game, try to minimize your technical errors. If you do, your subsequent shots will be much smoother and more fluid. To summarize looping, your swing path determines your consistency. Your brushing action determines the spin. Your body's power generation determines the force. And your swing speed determines the ball's velocity. So, diagnose your weakness and fix it. If you lack velocity, work on relaxation and acceleration. If you lack spin, work on your finger and wrist action. If you lack power, work on your body's coordinated movement. If you lack consistency, you must fix your swing mechanics and your swing path. Identify the problem, and then solve it.